Good day, everyone. I am Christine, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone to today's webinar, Medicare Provider Enrollment 101, Complete Enrollment and Credentialing Process and for Providers. I want to introduce our presenter for today, Yesenia Servin. Yesenia Servin, CPMSM, PESC, is an expert in credentialing and provider enrollment with over 24 years of experience in healthcare industry. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Yesenia.
Thank you so much, Christine. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. But I appreciate you all being here. We're going to dive into Medicare. Today, we're going to examine the Medicare PECOS enrollment application, so not paper. We're going to dig into the Medicare enrollment and the reasons why providers should be participating. And then we're going to review that 855 application process. So this is the biggest thing that many people, particularly providers and the C-suite, so your CEO, CFO, they get stuck on this, they hate it, so they tell you just do paper. So you as a credentialing and enrollment provider specialist should have your CMS INA profile. And so you have the link to the website. And this is the compliant way in which you're going to be connected to your organization and to your providers. You should never, ever have a provider's login for Medicare or for CMS or for NPI. That provider then, or that C-suite professional, logs in with their own profile and approves that connection. And that's how we can move into PECOS is the right way. It's by having that connection. And so just an easy visual, if you need to explain to any staff of how it works, you would be connected to that employer as a provider enrollment expert. And then that authorized official would be the one who approves everyone or adds everyone who needs to be contacted. Surrogacy connection, the individual provider will be connected to the organization, and you would do that as an enrollment specialist or sometimes the authorized official or the CMS applications. Starting with your institutional providers, a lot of times we know them as facilities. If you're part of a clinic or a group practice, an ambulatory surgical center, that would fall under the 855B. The 855R is built into the 855I. The other big thing is understanding your MAC, right? So whether you are Part A, Part B, or DME, you have to understand your MAC. And if you're a DME, these are yours. It's very nice and easy. You either have Novitas or Palmetto. So let's talk about the 855A. So all of these things must match. Otherwise, you'll get a warning, you'll get an error, and you won't be able to submit that application. What are the documentation requirements? So you need the CLIA for every CLIA, 100% match. They want that harmony. No extra periods, no extra space, no extra commas, none of that. And so the bank letter must be dated. It also must be signed by a bank representative. It can't just be like to whom this may concern. And actually, if you don't let them put to whom it may concern. It has to be an official professional letter. Accreditation certificates, this is a must. You have to have all of these. And then anything with the little asterisk is required for initial applications and change of ownership. Okay, so the CHOW is what we call a change of ownership. And anything with the double asterisk is specifically for changes of ownership. And so 855 Part B, our B is our clinics, groups, and other type of practices that are not considered facilities. Same type of question, same type of information that PECOS is going to require from you. The required documents, bank letter, the 460, the 588, the IRS letter, so either that 575 that they get or the one that they can call in and request, the 147. And so this is what it looks like. This is for an 855I. And remember, I is for individuals. So this is a PECOS application. This is one thing that you have to make sure you obtain when you're onboarding, or whoever onboards the provider in your organization. You have to check on adverse actions because you don't want it to come back to you. And then EFT information for this individual, you are not going to touch the EFT. So don't get confused and don't flip-flop information. And then there's also a fast track view that gives you section by section by section. But once you're done completing all of those sections, you can review the enrollment ID, you can review the PAC ID, the web tracking ID, but then you can also review any warnings and corrections. And so this is what the topic view information looks like. You see how it gives you a broader visibility as to what that section includes. Once we get PECOS 2.0, it's going to actually work so much better. And so this is what that parse stat is. Look looking like, and the form is also included as part of this section. So you can click on this link and it'll take you right to that form. And so the documentation section is here where you actually click on the documentation that you're uploading. And so this is what it looks like once you've successfully cleared any of those errors that you had. You see there's no more warnings, no more red or yellows, and you can begin the submission. So those are the certification statements. Hey, authorized official, I know you signed that certification for me and sent it back to me via PDF or via email. And so I always remind them to do that, either the voided check or the bank letter. For a facility, always get a bank letter. Everyone, I want you to be connected with me on LinkedIn. Anything that happens new with Medicare, Medicaid, any of these payers, whether they're Big Blues or the smaller Cigna or the smaller Oscar Health, I try to promote all the information that I get from them and put it out there so that you're aware of what's happening in credentialing, you're aware of what's happening in enrollment. Thank you so much. Please make sure you're using every checklist that I sent you. Write down everything and incorporate it. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Yesenia. That concludes the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day.